Most valuable tool that I have, my Orbit sander. I'm going to use a 150 grit sandpaper. Like I said, it's just going to be a light sanding. Shouldn't get on the mirror. It's a 150. And now I'll do a quick wash.
But you consider that sanding just now. I mean, there was obviously, you started going one direction, but then you started going the other direction. So it doesn't really matter.
If I was sanding it to be stained, then yes, it would matter. Because you would always want to go the way that the wood grain goes. This one is all going to be painted, no stain. So it doesn't really matter.
And so that sanding is actually not, I mean, normally you sand something to smooth something. To smooth something down, smooth the wood down to get rid of the rough spots. Not the purpose for that. That wasn't the purpose in this. It was just like to rough it up and actually kind of like, I guess for lack of a better term, that's like scrubbing it to get rid of, like you said, the oils and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's actually, instead of doing it to smooth it out, it was to kind of rough it up to allow the paint to adhere. It gives it, because it's so smooth from the previous finish that the paint won't adhere to it very well. And most people that pay for furniture to get done want to have it for a while. So they want their paint to adhere nicely.
Have you been doing it like that all along? Because you've been doing this now for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, a light sanding. Yeah, I think so. As long as I can remember. I think I've been doing it for 7 years now. Saw a Facebook memory the other day.
7 years. Wow.
I'm sure there are people who've been doing it longer though. Notice I didn't sand this bottom portion, and that's because it's not really worth it. It gets very little attention because nobody touches it. Nobody puts their drink on it. It doesn't move like the drawers do. So it's not really an important thing. Whereas the top of the dresser is very important because people will no doubt put a glass of water or something on it. Look at that. I'll have to fix that before we paint.
That little chip spot?
Yeah, that's the veneer chip, the wood veneer chipping off.
Okay. How do you fix that if that's a veneer? I mean, you don't put veneer on.
No, I don't put veneer on. Although I'm sure it can be done. This piece is just being painted, so I'm not concerned about what it looks like underneath the paint. Only what the paint's gonna look like. And the paint will show that little chip in there. So I will just fill it. And when it dries, I'll sand it off.
Wood filler.
Yeah, wood filler. Or Bond or whatever I happen to have on hand.
That's it. That's the cleaning of it?
Yeah. Easy peasy, but as you see, it takes time. And as you see, even if my sander caused that chip, that would be because it was already chipping. It was already loose. So sanding it also gives you the opportunity to see anything you might need to fix.
Gotcha.
Before painting.
Sanding and cleaning it like this reveals the flaws and
Yeah.
or damage or whatever.
Yep.
And now what?
I'm gonna fill it.